on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sports Focus. Appreciate you guys joining in this week. We've got a really cool guest we're going to talk to today. His name is Finis Stribling. He's defensive back at the University of Missouri, and he's currently an astrophysics student at the University of Texas, San Antonio, where he's pursuing his PhD eventually in astrophysics, of all things. So the guy's a hell of an athlete, hell of an academic man. He's also a podcaster and is also into training and fitness programs too. So we're going to talk about that a little bit with him, as well as a handful of fan questions that people wrote in. And the guy's also an avid mountain biker. So this guy literally does it all. So hang tight. We're going to bring him in the room and we'll see what he has to say. Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. What's going on?
Not too much here, man. Just freezing my ass off in this Tennessee weather.
It's cold up there?
Yeah, dude, today it dropped. It's like probably 40s, which, I mean, isn't that cold, but
Right.
Compared to what it's been. But how's Texas? How are things down there?
It's a little chilly today, but we just have a cold front coming in because of some storms, but it's usually been like mid-70s.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, man. I mean, Tennessee weather, you grew up here in Thompson Station. You know how unpredictable it is and how just shitty it can be all around.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's good to have you on, man. I appreciate you taking some time to talk with me this morning.
No problem, man. No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we got some really good questions. I'll start with kind of the most obvious. You were a football player with the University of Missouri. You played defensive back there. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what got you into playing football? How was your time at Missouri? Things like that.
Okay. So it's actually a funny story about how I got into football because I didn't really like football at first. I believe in middle school, I didn't even try out for the team the first year, and because I just didn't care. I just cared about basketball. That's all I wanted to do was basketball. I just had a couple friends like, bro, you got to try out. Like, we're all good. It's like all my boys kind of thing. And so I was just like, mine as well. And then from there, I found out I was actually kind of good at it. And in high school, I was just trying to decide how serious I wanted to take it. And then that's when I started taking it seriously. Then ended up with a scholarship. But at Mizzou, it's tough. It's different. Like high school, it's all fun and games. Not saying it's not fun, but it's a different level when you get to college because it's more like a business. It's more like a job than it is like a hobby, if that makes sense.
Right.
So it's like super business. Like they basically, the moment you get there, your day is mapped out from the moment you wake up to when you go to bed. Like they tell you got to be here at this time, here at this time, here at this time, and you just show up when they tell you to. But I mean, that's why, it builds so much structure and like time management, and like I still carry some of that today where I wake up same time every day, same routine, almost like it's just muscle memory kind of thing.
It's like clockwork for you now.
Yeah. So, I have no problem waking up early because that's all I did for 5 years was wake up early, work out, school, work, go to all that stuff. But it was fun. It was real fun.
And yeah, I'm sure I've got some friends at UT when I went to school there that, they get up at like 5 a.m. And like you said, it's mapped out workouts. You've got 8 a.m. classes, and then, you got practice again or workouts again. Is it nice that part is over, or do you feel like the structure is still like it carries over today a little bit, like you said? Do you appreciate that, or is it kind of like the muscle memory is just, it's there now, you have to get up and start your day? Or do you like the laziness of some people being able to sleep in?
Yeah. I appreciate it so much because when I got done, I didn't have to wake up anymore like super early. I didn't have to work out, but because that's like all I knew, I just kept doing it even when I got done. And now it's a part of my life where, okay, I'm gonna wake up this time, go work out, get my workout in, and then I'm up and running all day. So now that I'm up, I'm awake, instead of going to practice and meetings, I'm working on schoolwork, entrepreneurial type stuff. Like I'm doing something I'm being like super productive with my
No,
time.
yeah, that's good, man.
So
You're
yeah,
replacing, the workouts or the football with, things that are pertinent to your life now.
exactly.
You're a master's student right now. That was going to be my next question. How in the hell did you get linked up studying astrophysics? That is
Uh,
something that's 99% of people have no idea what it is. I mean, I studied physics at Vanderbilt. I mean, I know the bare minimum, but like for you to take it to the astrophysics level, what made you interested in that at Missouri or even post Missouri? Like what kind of got your drive going in that direction?
okay, yeah. So, and I've always been a scientific minded, like a mathematical minded guy, even from like a little kid. And so in high school, I took criminal justice for the 3 years for your like your electives or whatever.
Yeah, with Miss Black in high
Yeah,
school.
Miss Black. I did
Yeah.
criminal justice, and I wanted to be a forensic scientist and work at a police department in forensics. That was my initial goal, and I was going to go to UT because they have a great forensics program. UT, down here you got to say UT Tennessee because you say UT down here that everybody thinks Texas. The
Yeah, the
real
real UT up
the
here.
real UT.
Thank you. Yeah.
That they have a great forensics program. That's where I was going to go, and it was my senior year in high school. I took physics class with uh, Coach Finley. And that
Country and track coach.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's my coach for track and all that. And so I took that class, and we got to the astronomy part of the class, and I was like, whoa, like there's so many things like mind blowing, like eye opening kind of thing. I was like, whoa, like this is what I want to do right here. Like this is it. And so from there, once I stepped foot on Mizzou, I looked before I committed. I looked at their astronomy program, yada yada yada. Yeah, they got a good program. And the moment I stepped on campus, I declared as a physics major. And so I got my bachelor's in physics and astronomy with an emphasis in astronomy and a minor in math. But it's funny because I want to say at first I was just a general physics degree. I sat down with my supervisor and I was like, I kind of want to get an emphasis in something. I don't want it to be like too general.
Yeah, just
And
basic.
so we looked. Yeah, so we looked, and I was one class away, or 3 credit hours away from my emphasis in astronomy. And so I ended up doing research for credit hours at Missouri. That's how I met my supervisor. And so what ended up happening, what brought me to Texas, is so I did a semester of grad school at Missouri, and then she ended up getting a position at UTSA as the chair of the department. And so she came to me and was like, I'm moving to Texas. If you want to move with me, like I'll hold a spot for you and you can continue to do your research with me. But we're gonna be in I'm gonna be in San Antonio. And I'm not a fan of the Midwest. I'm sorry for all my Midwest friends. I'm not a fan because of the weather. So I was like, Columbia, Missouri or San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, I was like, So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Texas. And that's where I originally was a master's, and I actually just reclassified as a PhD student. And then I'm just doing my astrophysics endeavors, trying to get my PhD. That's what led
wild,
me here,
man. Yeah, I love that though. I'm really proud of you for doing that. And
I appreciate it.
Online called "What a Scientist Look Like."
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that just to get kind of a background of the astrophysics and what you were studying. And so I'll put that link in the description once we upload this for everyone to take a look at. It's a really good read. But that's crazy, man. I love that astrophysics is what you're shooting for. And so is your master's program like a year, 2 years, and then it's like a segue into the PhD program?
Yeah, it's like I forget what it's called, like an interim master's. So basically you're classified as a PhD. It's a 5-year program. And so in the first 2 years, you meet just by default in your first 2 years, you'll meet the requirements for a master's if you're in the PhD program. So if you don't have your master's, after 2 years, you literally meet all the requirements by default. So you literally just, hey, I got all the requirements for my master's. You fill out some form and you get your master's, but you're still just, it's just kind of on the way.
PhD.
Yeah, it's just like on the way you end up picking it up just by default. So it's like a perfect, like, I guess, dual program.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's 5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. So when did you start that? Like when did you start, and what's your expected graduation date?
I started last summer of 2019. So yeah, expected graduation is 2024 in the in the fall 2024, I believe.
Okay. Good deal. Dang. So what's your plan with this going forward in terms of what is the career that Finest wants? Like, do you want to be in a lab? Would you work something like that, or be out in the field? What's kind of your long term goal with that?
So yeah, my long-term goal is I want to be a professor at a university. So here's my ideal situation. I graduate my PhD, and then I start applying for professorships or postdocs, and I want to be a professor if I could at Middle Tennessee State, because I want to get back to the Middle Tennessee area.
Okay.
So I just want to be a professor at a big university. I want to do a combination of research and teaching. Like, teaching is one of my passions, because I used to do like freelance tutoring, and I used to work for like a tutoring company. So teaching is also a passion of mine. I actually used to teach a physics lab at UTSA. So like, I'm trying to get some teaching in my resume and stuff like that. So I want to be a professor, do research, get some undergrads under my wing, or some grad students under my wing, kind of pass my knowledge of what I know. And, I also want to do like a lot of like outreach and like community service type stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Well, good. I know from Middle Tennessee originally, grew up in Thompson Station, so I'm sure it'll be nice for you to come back, get out of that mid
Yeah.
life, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of schools here for you to try to get your foot in the door and get a job here. And I mean, with your background, I don't know why anybody wouldn't turn you away once that 2024 date comes here.
Right.
But that's awesome, man. Really cool. I was really wondering when I read that, I was like, how in the world is he doing astrophysics? Like, what does he want to do? Because I'm sure when most people think of that, they think of like the Big Bang Theory, that TV show.
Yeah.
Where it's, all those nerds just sitting around messing with tubes, and it's like that's the only physics thing a lot of people know.
Yeah.
You're wanting the, astronomy side, dealing with, planets like the cosmos, things like that. That's awesome, man. I could not do anything like that. I passed physics at Vandy with a C, and so kudos to you, man, for doing that. That's really cool.
Appreciate it.
But going in from that, I wanted to talk to you about biking, because my company from quarantine since March has been trying to bike. And, I see your stuff on Instagram, and you're riding, 10, 15, 20 plus miles. I was over here struggling with like my middle school bike doing 3-4 miles. So like, what got you into that? Was that just like, a hobby to keep the time going, to keep you in shape? Because I know you also work out a lot. So what was the mindset behind biking?
So yeah, so I basically replaced biking with basketball, because I before COVID, the courts were open. That's what I was doing for my cardio, just to stay in shape, was just, and keep a little bit of the athleticism, was just to play pickup basketball. Then once the courts closed, I went a couple months of no just lifting weights and like no kind of like heart stimulant in terms of cardio. And I was like, I'm trying to figure out like, maybe I can find some outdoor courts, but nobody's gonna really be playing, and it's just gonna be shooting around. I need like, a good heart pump. And so my buddy out here, Xavier, he got his bike and was like, I'm trying to get into biking. I'm like, biking, I don't know about all that. And then I saw him like having fun on his bike. I was like, all right, I gotta get a bike. So I got a bike. Yeah. So I got a bike, and then we've been we just started biking. And at first it was just we started off like 5 miles, 8 miles. But we're mountain biking, which is a different beast than road biking, because it's like, it's intense. And so once we got a couple weeks in, we was like, man, we're getting like 15, 17 miles a day every time we go. It was like, let's see how far we can go. And so we started doing like 20 plus every time we went out. And then I did I did 41 miles on Thanksgiving Day, just to push myself. We have a trail. I did the whole trail down and back, and it was like 41.2 miles or something like that.
My God, I mean, legs were shot after that.
Oh yeah, and I kind of underestimated, because not all of it, maybe a third of it was on the trails, and then a lot of it was on like pavement of the sidewalk trail.
Yeah.
The problem with that is mountain bikes are not made to like ride on roads, because the tires are thick, and it's a steel frame, because I had to get a large bike. So So it's a heavy bike. It's not a lightweight bike. So I mean, it was a lot harder than it really should have been.
Yeah, you're out of your element riding on pavement.
Yeah, but it's funny because I was telling my friends, 20 something miles into the bike ride, it's Thanksgiving Day. I got up at like 6 in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning. I'm 20 miles in, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I doing this? You know, I'm like,
Wall.
yeah, I was like, well, what am I doing? Like, nobody pressured me to do this, but it was just more. I like challenging myself with stuff. So,
No, that's good, man. You've already got the mentality of waking up early. I mean, because most people, especially on Thanksgiving, the last thing anybody wants to do is exercise. I mean, I see
yeah,
on Instagram, it's like, why would you want to go run the turkey trot, so those 5Ks, when you can sleep in and drink wine and stuff your face all day? And
right,
I think that's what characterizes you and a lot of other people away from 99% of the population. Like I think you and maybe one other person I know would get up at 6, just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ride 40 miles. Like, not because no one told me to, but I want to push myself. It's like,
right.
put you in an elite group already to begin with, to have that mental strength to be able to do that.
Yeah, you hyping me up, man. I don't know what to say.
I mean, it's true, man. From because I've been trying to somewhat develop that the last like 3-4 months. Get up at 4:15. I do a little devotional, and then I try to hit the gym. At least do something that it sounds kind of arrogant to say it, but I know that the majority of people aren't doing that, and so that's what like fuels me to do it. So
Right.
be that uncommon person, and so like you getting up at 6 to go bike that, like you're the uncommon amongst the uncommon in terms of it's a quote from David Goggins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's awesome. And I'm assuming you finished all 40. Have you done that since? Is that something you want to do again, or were you just like,
oh,
yeah, man, I can't do 40?
I would consider doing it again, but it'd have to be under different circumstances. Because I did it by myself. Because my buddy Xavier he's from Houston, so he went back home for Thanksgiving. I probably wouldn't do it again by myself, but if my buddy Xavier was like, yo, I want to do a 40 miler too, let's do it together, I'd be like, all right, I can do that. But I don't see myself doing it again by myself.
By yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So originally, I wanted to come down there and have this interview there in person down there in Texas, but with COVID and stuff, we had to keep it to Zoom. So if I get down there, and if I can get my stamina up to 40, I'm definitely going to take you up and try to. All
right, yeah.
Standard.
We can do that.
Yeah, because I'm doing I've got a mountain bike that I got for Christmas when I was in 6th grade. So this thing for like a 4-foot, 85-pound middle schooler.
Yeah.
And I found it, back in like March when the lockdown happened. So I've been riding that thing. I look like an ogre on top of this bike. And so that thing's meant for like kids going around the neighborhood playing with their friends.
Right.
Taking that thing like 10, 15 plus miles. And so I'm actually trying to get a new bike here for Christmas. So once I get that, I don't know how I could fly that down there though, but we'll think of something though.
Yeah.
I want to come down there and visit and take a ride and see if I can keep up with your ass on the bike.
Hey, we can do it. I'm down for that.
I like that idea, man. But all right, so next thing we got is your podcast. So I know you're big. You got a podcast. You're into these training programs. You're a fitness guru. I mean, I feel like I don't even have to ask what got you into that. I mean, I feel like that's something that's always been, part of you staying healthy, staying active. So was this something that you wanted to do as a hobby, after football while you're doing your master's program? Kind of talk a little bit about that. What got you going in that direction?
Yeah, so I've always been a fitness junkie. I don't remember this, but my mom used to tell me when I was like 4, I would do like workouts at the house when I was 4. I'd like, back in the day, I'd watch TV and during a commercial, I would just pump out push-ups until the commercial.
Yeah, grind out some. Yeah.
Yeah, all the way until the commercials were done. And then the next commercial break, I would do like sit-ups and stuff like that.
Smart.
And you could do, with the commercials, they're every like 15. So, you can do that for a while. So I've always been to fitness. It really started when I was in elementary school. I'm not genetically like I'm not genetically a big person. like I'm kind of big now because I've been like putting in work to gain weight. I got like weight goals, but prior I was toothpick, like super, super skinny.
Okay.
And so because at elementary school, I was actually getting bullied. I'm not gonna drop any names, but I actually was getting bullied in elementary school. And the dude, he was just a bigger, heavier kid, and there's nothing I could do. He would just take my lunch money. He would like try to throw me. He'd literally just pick me up, throw me in trash cans. And I was so little because he was a couple grades ahead of me. And I was just like, there's nothing I can do. And so I think at some point when I found out like what working out was, like real working out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just start working out so I get strong enough to defend myself. And so I believe it was a year or two went by where I was just grinding push-ups. My mom would give me like these small, I was little, so she didn't want me doing too serious stuff, but like small dumbbells. And I would just sit there and curl all day in the house. And then one day the guy came in, he was trying to pick on me. And I was like, I'm ready. And I ended up basically, I ended up like defending myself. And he was shook.
The little dog got his day.
Yeah, he was shook and he didn't mess with me since. And from there I was like, I feel good, like confidence was up, my mental was cleared. And so ever since then, I just always been the fitness. When I was at Independence, me and like, I don't know if you remember Kent Katzman. Yeah. I had me and Kent and a few other people. I mean, every morning before class, we get there at like 6, get us a solid workout in, shower, and we would just go to, and we did that every year in high school. Every day, Monday to Friday, we were at school before school started, just working out, just trying to get stronger, better. And then once football hit, I kind of gained some credibility. And then I started doing like, I got my certification in workout design, personal training, strength and conditioning. And so I started kind of training some teammates on the side, like extra work, be like, yeah, you should do this. And I'd explain the science behind it and why it works. And once I got done with football, I just kind of kept it rolling. And that's how I got into the fitness thing. I got merch, just throwing that out there. You guys want to get some merch.
Yeah, I was going to bring
that. You get it at IV Fitness. I changed the name, ivfitnesstraining.com. And then the podcast is actually interesting because I wasn't big in the podcast until I started listening to some. And then I was like, it'd be pretty cool to have a podcast, just, to keep in touch with some of my good friends. It kind of just guy talk it, you know what I'm saying? And so because of COVID, I had a little extra free time and I found the Anchor app. Ivy talked about you by Anchor. And so I kind of just went there and started it. And then I reached out to my buddy, Calvin, a good friend of mine. We still keep in touch, Calvin Williams. And we started a podcast and we just started from there. And then we just added a new co-host. I don't know if you remember Mitchell Evans at all.
Mitchell,
but
doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. But now we got a podcast. It's primarily just anything, but most of it's sports because we're just all sports heads. But
yeah, it makes sense.
That's how they got started. Just decided to make something out of nothing.
Yeah. I think Brian Thompson, do you remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he and I are good buddies, and I think he was on one of the episodes.
Yeah, he was.
Because
he's talking about
he does like real estate, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's how I first, heard of your podcast. And I mean, I didn't know what Brian was doing either. So it was good to kind of get best of both worlds, listen to y'all talk
right
there. But we'll put the link in the description for that too, and get some merch on your website as well. But I like that. I feel like you've got a good personality for podcasts. And you've got a little bit of everything. You've got the academics, you've got the sports, obviously, to a T. And, you get some good company talking. I mean, I feel like you could easily get a successful podcast going with just a bunch of guys. I mean, because that's what people want to hear about. Sports, and they want to just hear kind of like bro talk. Shit we hear in the media now. But that's good, man. Yeah, I love that. And it's called IV Talks.
Yes, sir. IV Talks.
IV Talks. I like that. Well, moving right along. So your personal training. So your programs. Are these programs that you have gone through yourself, like at Missouri, or are these things that, you've made like a compilation of them from all your years of working out? And do they tailor to, guys like me that like work out every now and then? Are they for people that don't work out? Are they for men, women? What's kind of who are you trying to appeal to for these training programs?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I wanted my training programs for is the personalization. So I personalize. Some people I have like workouts kind of that I've already made that I could use, but really I tailor them to the individual. So if somebody came to me and was like, "Yo, I'm trying to bulk," and I was okay, how many times a week you plan on working out? Like how often? Like are there any physical limitations, movements that you just do not want to do? And then I tailor it to that specific person, to that goal. And so I make them on the spot. So they come to me, they all that. So if you want to bulk, if you want to lose weight, if you just want to slim down, if you want to get shredded, I try to cater to any and everybody. Somebody that's a beginner all the way to advanced, CrossFit, not so much CrossFit, but more of like a powerlifting versus bodybuilding, because it's a different science depending on what you want to do. So I try to tailor to anybody I can.
No, I like that. It's not just a generic like 90x, where it's like, anybody trying to do this. It's like you have somebody that's got the knowledge, he's got the experience. Obviously, you work out, and so you've got the background that somebody could trust, knowing, I'm trying to put on 10, 15 pounds for the winter, or, I'm trying to get those abs for the summer,
Right.
talk to you about that. So good deal. Well, yeah, I'll definitely, I need to check that out, because my workout is go to Planet Fitness and just try to make my ass sweat a little bit. I love supersets. That's what learned is like the thing I don't like to work out and do is what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I hate doing abs. I think I've worked out my legs 5 times in my whole life. So I'm going to try to incorporate legs back in.
Oh, no.
Bro,
we can't skip leg day.
There's a reason that the camera doesn't go past my right there, bro. I ran track and cross country with Finley in high school.
Right.
And he tore my legs apart, and these little chicken legs probably can't squat more than maybe 200, and that's probably being very generous. But so yeah, I might hit you up for some of the leg workouts. That's probably.
Oh yeah, we can get you in the 300s for sure.
Yeah, that's what I need to get some tree trunks for legs.
Yeah.
But cool, good deal, man. I love that. So my next thing I want to talk to you about is just football in general. So college football, NFL. Do you still keep up with Missouri now that you're not there, or have you kind of tailored into NFL? What do you do on like Saturdays and Sundays with football? Are you still into that?
Yeah, I try. I for sure keep up with obviously my alma mater. I'm a big SEC guy, so what I do is I try to there's so many because of the podcast. We talk football and basketball, and we talk NFL and NCAA. So it's hard to watch everything,
Right.
So I try to keep up with all the SEC football and basketball. I try to keep up with all NFL, primarily the Titans, but highlights of any and everything. And then the biggest sport I keep up with is NBA basketball, because basketball is my favorite sport.
Okay.
And so like that's what I'm like I'll watch any game. It could be 2 teams that are like the bottom 2 teams in the NBA. I will watch that game.
You're still going to tune into it.
Yes, if it's the only game being played. Obviously, if Lakers are playing Clippers, I'm gonna watch that first.
Right.
But if it's I'll still watch it. I'll go to the game. Like I love NBA basketball, but I do keep up with and I'm also trying to get into like MMA and the boxing, like get into that sport. So I keep with all the UFC stuff as well. So I try to keep up with all the big sports.
Damn. Yeah, I was gonna say you got a little bit of knowledge for everything on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Well, NBA preseason I think started on
this week.
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
Lakers and Clippers played. What's the LaMelo Ball? He got his debut.
Yeah, he did.
Cole Anthony, that's who I like. He went to North Carolina.
Right.
I watched a little bit of highlights of him, but are you a big what's your number one NBA team? Like, were you glad that the Lakers won back in the bubble in October, or are you said you'll watch anybody, you don't care?
Well, so I'm so in basketball, NBA basketball, I'm a player follower. So my favorite all-time player is Carmelo Anthony. So I'm a huge Portland fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a huge Portland fan for now. I was a Knicks fan, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm a fan of the team
yeah.
wherever he goes. My second favorite player of all time, LeBron James. So I was very happy that he got him another ring. My third favorite player of all time, Jimmy Butler. So actually during the finals, I had a lot of mixed emotions. Like I want Jimmy to go ahead and get that one because he's right there. But you're talking LeBron, one of the greatest of all time to ever do it. It's like I want to see them both succeed. So during the finals, it's actually tough for me because I was just like, I like both these guys. They're my top three favorites. But I'm glad the Lakers won, and those are like my top three. But I got a bunch of other favorites. I like Russell Westbrook. I like Derrick Rose. My list is long of like favorite players. But right now I'm a number one. Yeah, I'm number one though is Portland, just because my number one player is there.
Damn, yeah, Portland. I felt bad for them against the Lakers in the playoffs. But I can't stand. I like Melo. I think he's obviously a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
That he's never been to the finals. I'm going to say it. He never will get a ring. Portland's
probably not.
I can't stand Damian Lillard.
Really?
I can't stand the
guy. He's growing on me. I kind of like Dame. Do I have a Dame jersey? I collect NBA jerseys. I almost have a jersey from every team.
Damn. Okay.
I have like 30 NBA jerseys. I'm gonna eventually get them all framed.
Oh my god! Of what? Just like the best player from each team?
That's how it started. But then I got multiple. So I got when Kobe passed away, I got a Kobe 8 jersey, a Kobe 24 jersey, his Olympic jersey, but I also have a LeBron Laker jersey. So I have a bunch of Laker jerseys.
Okay.
But I went for my favorite players first. So I got like a Derrick Rose Bull jersey, like classic. I got an Anthony Davis Pelican jersey, a classic. I got Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, the old school Raptors Vince Carter jersey. I got a Steve Nash. So like I was just going down the list of like, let me get a jersey from each team kind of thing. I got a Ben Wallace Pistons jersey.
Damn, that's a throwback. Out of all of them, that Ben Wallace one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's I forgot where I was going with it. But yeah.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't like.
Oh yeah, Dame.
He seems like the player that's like, he's not willing to get a ring. It's like he'll sign the big contract
for the money.
He reminded me of Westbrook for a while. But then Westbrook was willing to like share the ball, and I feel like his ego wasn't what it used to be. But Dame, it's just like they're predictable every year. They have a decent regular season. They go into the playoffs. They get a first round exit. And I think here they went to the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors, but that was when they had Durant, and I think they lost 4-0. But I can't stand Dame. I like CJ McCollum, and I love Melo. I think they got a solid like trio, but I just don't think anything's ever going to happen to Portland if they're keeping Dame.
That's tough. Because I kind of at first I was like, he's cool, he's a scorer, like, but he's growing on me. The logo shots, like, I thought Steph Curry was changing the 3-point game. Dame is taking it to another level, consistently half court shots. Like this is just wild. But I do get what you're saying. That style of ball, it's not gonna get you a championship. That's the problem that the Rockets are having with Harden. Like that type of ball is not gonna get you
I've been making that argument with Harden ever since it started. And he wasn't showing up to practice. He wants to be traded to the Nets or like his first choice. I was like, I think the Rockets are going to trade you to join Kyrie and KD up in Brooklyn, but it's just that style. It's like they rack in the money. They're great players for sure. Harden's got an MVP, I think, in the leading scorer once or twice, but it's just that style is not going to win you a ring. And I feel like that a lot of players are chasing is just give me the big contract and I'll sit on this team forever. And then you got guys like LeBron, guys like Steph at the Warriors who were taking pay cuts to other players. And then look what happened. They've won the ring for it. And so that's, I don't know, that's just kind of the way I see it with some of these players.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's just not going to get it done.
But, all right, so early prediction. Who do you think is going to win the 2021 finals.
Ah,
I want to, when we get your Eastern Conference champion, Western Conference, and then who's winning.
So West, I might have to go with the Lakers. One, you got LeBron and AD are staying, and I think they, with adding Marc Gasol, and not only did they add the sixth man of the year, they also add the runner-up to the sixth man of the year to their roster. So I mean, they got so much better, because I think one of the problems I had with the Lakers is they didn't have much depth, if we're being honest. If LeBron and AD had to both sit, they could give up.
They were screwed.
It was tough.
They had Danny Green and Rondo trying to carry the team.
Exactly, but now that you got Montrezl Harrell, you got Marc Gasol, great defensive presence, and Montrezl Harrell's really good athletic scorer. Then you add somebody like Dennis Schroeder to your team. You got depth.
Yeah.
You got major depth. So they got really good. I do think if the Clippers play their cards right, they can get back to the Western, but I don't see them beating the Lakers. The East is tough for me because huge Jimmy Butler fan. So Miami Heat. I before the playoffs started, I said the sleeper team in the East is going to be Miami Heat. I said that before it started and nobody believed me. I said it on air on my podcast. I was like, look, Miami.
Find the footage.
I was like, Miami will end up in the NBA Finals, and everybody thought I was crazy. And then they gentlemen swept the number one team.
Yeah,
in the East.
And they're on his ass, man.
Exactly. Not only the number one team in the East, but they had the number one overall record above the Lakers. So they're really the number one overall team, gentlemen sweep. So, but I do believe that if Milwaukee can get the right trades and get, because they're trying to determine what they're doing to keep Giannis happy with like getting another All-Star. I think if they play their cards right, they can win the East. So I think we'll get the matchup we were expecting with Lakers and Milwaukee, but I would love to see Miami go back again.
Okay. Yeah, because Miami's not losing anybody. Tyler Hero, who out in the playoffs. No one saw that coming. And then they got Jimmy Buckets to stand. So I think they're definitely going to make a run. What's your prediction for the Nets? That's the one team that everyone's like, okay, they were complete trash, but now they've picked up probably the top three best player in the league with Kevin Durant, and they got Kyrie. So you think, are they making the playoffs? Are they going to the semis? Are they going to the conference finals? What do you think?
I think for sure they make the playoffs because I wouldn't keep up with the Nets very much. But if you look at their team, they made the playoffs this past year. They weren't even last. They were, I think, 6th or 7th seed in the playoffs without Kyrie or KD. So now you add those two, you're looking at a solid team. I think they go into the playoffs. I see them maybe probably third seed. I see them making it third seed behind Milwaukee and Miami. And I can see them. I don't think they make it to the conference finals because their first year together. That first year is always kind of a little iffy. But I think that next year, that might be the year they get it done.
Okay, good take. I like that. Yeah, I'm not I don't have any beef against Kyrie or KD. I like both of them, but I don't think they get past the Bucks. I could see them beating the Heat.
Yeah, because that's a tough matchup for the Heat.
I would love to see Jimmy versus Kevin. That would be a showdown. But I just think, Kevin Durant's a freaking spider.
Oh yeah, he's impossible to guard.
Yeah, I think they would just overtake the Heat on that. But so you got the Lakers coming out of the West. You got the Bucks. You think are coming out of the East.
Right.
The matchup that has been, that's a 100-year-old matchup, a classic Bucks Lakers. Who do you think would get it done?
As of right now, because the Bucks are still trying to add people to the team, but as of right now, I think the Bucks have a matchup problem when it comes to the Lakers. Because with the Bucks, they don't play. The only problem the Lakers had was the small ball lineup because JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard at the time, they couldn't guard the five guards out there. Basically, they were almost I don't want to say useless, but they were a liability, even though it sounds weird because they're big rim protectors, but they were almost a liability. So you didn't even see them in the small ball lineups. You didn't even see JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard for real play for real.
Right.
But since the Milwaukee Bucks, their play style is literally the perfect matchup for the Lakers. You talking about Giannis, a big guy. Well, they have plenty of length, plenty of size. And then you take, if you can just hold Giannis to 20, play super hard, 20 points. And then, Chris Middleton, he's gonna give you his points, but that's their problem.
For Giannis.
Yeah, that's their problem. They need a third guy. They don't have that right now. At least I don't believe they do.
They've got there's some little guy that came out of Villanova.
The redhead guy, right?
Oh, is it red hair? Shit, I thought it was blonde. But yeah, he's a short guy. He just sits at the 3-point line.
It's not Dellavedova, is it?
No.
I
know who that is. He's even shorter. I can't think of who he is. I didn't really recognize him until the playoffs. But I mean, still, in my opinion, that's not a guy that can make up for Middleton and Giannis.
Right.
So you're saying Lakers early prediction?
Right, because if you think about it, from Milwaukee, who do you put on LeBron? Giannis? If you put Giannis on LeBron, you can't.
I don't know who else you would. Maybe Middleton? And then do Giannis and Davis? Because Giannis and Davis are kind of even. I think.
Yeah, you'd have to put Giannis on Davis for sure, just by default, because AD, you want to match the size. Well, if Giannis is on Davis, I don't see Middleton on LeBron.
No.
Like, Middleton's not a bad defender, but Jimmy Butler was a better matchup against LeBron, and Jimmy Butler is a significantly better defender than Chris Middleton. So, all right, but you also got to think you got Montrezl Harrell. I don't know if he starts, but he's an option for the 4 or even the 5. He can play the 5. Who do you put on him?
Dang, yeah.
Because he's undersized, but he is physical.
He plays tough for being a smaller big man.
Exactly. He's gonna if you don't have Giannis on him, it's bully ball. I mean, I guess you could put Brook Lopez in there, but then he becomes a liability at the perimeter. So it's too many mismatches.
Yeah, his ass can't move.
Yeah, either they're too big to move with the guys, or they're too small to be physical enough. So unless they're just shooting 50% from the 3, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think it's my early prediction before trades started happening was Lakers are going to win it again. I mean, they looked unstoppable during the bubble, and now, like you said, they picked up Montrez and they picked up Dennis Schroeder. Like,
yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't see anybody that can stop that, especially at the West. I mean, the Warriors are going to be fun to watch, but Klay Thompson tore his ACL.
Yeah.
During like a practice or something a few weeks ago, and so that,
he's out.
Him, so
yeah, it's unfortunate. Oh, and the Lakers are thinking about getting Paul Gasol, so they're gonna have Mark and Paul put.
I saw that he wanted to come out of retirement and join his brother.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of people are saying it's whatever. He's old. He's washed up. It's not for the offense. I'm sure he can still be a solid defensive rim protector. And, Lakers already have that tower lineup with just tall guys. You add another solid defender. That's all you come off the bench and give some defensive presence when they need it. That's all you need.
Powell's taller than Marc Gasol.
Exactly.
And Marc Gasol, I loved watching him because he used to be at Memphis.
Yeah.
Toronto. And then he balled out at Toronto. I did not think he was that good. And now that, the Lakers picked him up, might get his brother too. It just seems like it's a no-brainer. As soon as they release the odds, I'm going ahead and I'm putting money on the Lakers 2021. It seems like a no-brainer. But we got our last segment here. We got some fan questions.
All right.
I told you a couple of them beforehand just to get you an idea, but I think those are pretty good. So, best on the field and off the field moment when you were at Missouri.
Okay, so best on the field, we were playing South Carolina at South Carolina. I forget the year. It might have been my senior year, so 2018. But I'm not 100% sure. But we were down. Well, yeah, we were down. It's fourth quarter. We're down, I believe, by a score, just a point or like a possession. And it's raining, like monsoon rain. The field's soaking wet because they have real grass instead of turf.
Yep.
And we're on punt return. They're punting the ball. So they hike it. The punter fumbles the ball because it's soaking wet. And so he is, they were covering. It wasn't supposed to be a fake. So everybody's running downfield. And so nobody sees him fumbling the ball at first. And so I got my guy kind of hemmed up. And so I kind of look in the backfield to make sure he's punting. I look up, he's taking off. I'm like, oh, snap. So I peel off of my guy, and I'm trying to beat him so he doesn't get the first down. And so I run in like super hot, and I go to wrap him up. My helmet, bam, right on the ball, pops out. And then we recover the ball.
And you were in their territory?
Yeah, in their territory. So it was like, I didn't even know he fumbled the ball. I just hit him. I like pulled him in, dropped him. And then I just hear a bunch of bodies hitting the ground, and I look up, he fumbled it. I was like, whoa. And then we ended up recovering the ball. And it was close. We still ended up losing, but that's probably like personally, like the sideline went crazy. We're in their arena, so everybody got quiet. There's nothing better than like quieting the crowd when you're at an away game. And it was just live. Yeah, it was so much fun.
But couldn't finish and get the dub. But hey, I mean,
no.
Play the game. You made it happen.
Yeah, that's
trying to do that.
So everybody's like, oh, this is it. We're in their territory. We see a shot. We score. We win. So, and it was, I believe, if I'm not wrong, it was like late fourth quarter too. So, I mean, it would have been like crunch time. But that's my favorite moment. It was so much fun. Off the field, I'm trying to think. Because I wasn't the type of guy to like do too much stuff off the field. Like I just kind of did my work. Actually, my favorite off the field moment is probably, besides like we got locker room stuff, like it's fun when we travel. My roommate Anthony Hines, goofball, like we were just goofing all the time. But like my favorite actual like, I guess like moment that I made is when I found out I was going to the University of Texas at San Antonio, UTSA. I'd never been to San Antonio, and so I was like, for my spring break, I was like, I'm gonna just get a hotel in San Antonio, drive down, and look for apartments. And so my roommate Tavon Ross, he was like, I'll go with you. I don't want you to go by yourself. Like it was a 12-hour drive. Like I'll ride with you. We can split the driving. And then my other buddy Nelly was like, I'll go too. And so we just made like a bro trip, and it was so much fun.
There you go.
We dropped so much money that
I like that.
Yeah, we dropped so much money we shouldn't have dropped. Like just going to we went to 6 malls, and 2 of them were on accident, and we just started just spending money.
What, getting your cowboy boots, your cowboy hats?
Well, eventually, I think I did. I might have bought a cowboy hat, but like we went to a couple malls because I collect shoes. I'm a big sneakerhead, and so I bought a few shoes. I was like, all right, I'm done. And so we were like, let's go into this store. We thought it was just a store, like a brick and mortar, just standalone store. We walked in it. I think it was like a Dillard's because they had like a sale, and like Nelly wanted to get some clothes or something like that. And we get to the back of the Dillard's. It's a mall. We're like, oh, snap. We didn't know we walked into a mall. So then we looked at each other like, all right, let's go walk around. Of course, the mall had some shoe stores. I ended up buying like a $800 watch, all this stuff. And then I just
really balling out on spring break.
Oh yeah, we balled out. We was eating ice cream every night. It was crazy.
God, that beats. I would love to just go on a shopping spree for my spring breaks. Mine were, instead of spending it on watches, I was face down in the sand or face down on a cruise ship, passed out.
Yeah.
That's probably the better option. I like that. But all right, good deal. So next we got best Christmas movie.
See, the fans are gonna hate me. I'm not a fan of Christmas movies.
Ooh.
I know I said it. I knew it was gonna be risky. I'm not a fan of Christmas movies. I like Christmas. Don't get me wrong. Christmas is fun. I like Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. I'm not a fan of Christmas movies because it's not my.
Is it too cheesy, or is it like it's predictable?
A combination of both. Like it's that's not the kind of movie. I'm not a festive guy. Like, I celebrate the idea of Christmas, being around my family, yada yada. But like, I don't set up lights. I don't wrap it's funny because when I buy gifts to my family, I mail it to send. Most of it's from Amazon, so I just mail it back home. It's there when I get there. I don't wrap. I leave them in the Amazon box and I hand it. I was like, all right, Mom, this is yours. Here's yours, Kai. And like, I just hand them the boxes already wrapped or already in their Amazon boxes. So I'm not festive. I don't celebrate Halloween. Like, I don't do festive stuff. And so when it comes to movies, I like gritty action, like superhero movies, like John Wick type stuff, like military stuff. So when it comes to like holiday movies, I just don't get it. It's not for me. But
okay. I was not expecting that answer.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of a movie though. It's like kind of Christmassy that I can get with. But I can't think of anything. To be honest.
Wow, interesting. All right, well, you heard it here first.
Sorry, guys.
Not like Christmas movies.
I'm sorry.
Had to break the bad news. We going from favorite Christmas movie to favorite cuss word. I'm not going to say who requested this, but it was a friend that went to Independence.
Okay.
Mutual friend of ours.
All right.
So favorite cuss word. What do you got?
My favorite cuss word is probably shit. I use it as like slang. My favorite, I have like a phrase like damn near. So I say damn near a lot as well.
Okay.
And so like the context I use, so like let's say we were talking sports and you were like, I don't think LeBron is a top 5 all-time player. I'd be like, shit. Like, like kind of like a you tripping kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I use that. And then of course you got the like, if you're about to get to a car, it's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's got multiple uses to the word.
Yeah, it's versatile. It's a very versatile word. And and then you got, damn near is just like pretty close and stuff. Just it's all slang stuff.
Okay, shit's mine too. I feel like it's a verb, it's an adjective.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a very versatile word. But so I meant to ask you, we'll go backtrack to the NBA real quick.
Mm-hmm.
MJ versus LeBron debate. The biggest debate in history. I'll let you go first, and then I'll give my answer if you can't tell already.
Okay. Okay. I can kind of tell. Here's my thing. Obviously, I'm a little biased because, like most people in my generation, because I never really saw MJ play. So I understand I'm a little biased because, I was born when he was playing in I was born in 95, whatever, but I was baby, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really see him play. So obviously, I think LeBron James is the greatest of all time. But when I say I think he's the greatest of all time, I say statistically, he's the greatest of all time. Because if you look at the numbers across the board, in almost every category, LeBron James statistically is more efficient and beats out MJ.
I agree.
Yeah. So I always say statistically because if you can make the argument for either. If you say MJ's the greatest of all time, as long as LeBron's in your top 2 or 3, I'm okay. Once you put him out of that, it gets a little disrespectful.
Then we got a problem. Yeah.
Right. But if you're like, oh, I think MJ's 1, LeBron's 2, I'm okay. I respect that. But if you're like, but I think LeBron James is the greatest to ever play. I think he's a better athlete, which, not too many people disagree. But the only thing MJ really has over LeBron is the 6-0 in the playoff run and the 6 rings. But then you get to talking about the team. So it gets super dicey trying to look at just the individual, just the individual's performance versus the team. Because I think MJ, I think that was a better system and a better team. Because you're talking about one of the greatest coaches of all time. Because he not only did he three-peat, he three-peated with 2 different teams 3 times. Like the greatest coach of all time. And Phil Jackson. So, I mean, and then you got to talk about the number 1 player, MJ. Who else was on the team? The number 2 player in the league. That has a lot to do. And then you have one of the greatest.
And the number 1 defensive player.
And the number 1 defensive player. And you have one of the greatest 3-point shooters to play the game is Steve Kerr. So it's so you're talking about a solid team. And then you look at LeBron, the majority of his career, he's just putting the team on his back and kind of just bully balling his way into the finals. So until he gets, that's when he's with Cleveland at first. But then when he gets with the Heat, he gets his help. But I'm going with LeBron.
Okay, no, I respect that. Mine's MJ1, but
Yeah,
behind it is LeBron. There's no comparison. Obviously, those two are the greatest that will ever.
right.
It like you said, MJ's 6-0 run, taking that team to win, like watching the Last Dance.
Yeah,
If you watch that or not, that was fun.
yeah.
But I think, like you said, he had a great system behind him. And LeBron, the one thing I love about LeBron, that Cavs team in 2007, when he took them to the finals against the Spurs, and his player was like Zendrunas, Mo, Wilson, a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah.
Into the finals, they lost, I think 4-1. Or they might have actually gotten swept. But that performance, because he was like 20, he might have been like 22. And then the 2016 Cavs team, when he came back 3-1 against the Warriors.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, he single-handedly carried that team and won. I think they won twice in Golden State during that comeback. But, I mean, that performance right there is it's hard to classify a performance by Michael higher than that 2016 run.
Yeah.
But no, I agree, man. LeBron's a hell of an athlete. You could put him at tight end for the Cleveland Browns, and he'd still probably do well. I don't know if you could do that with Michael during his prime.
No. Now let me ask you this: who's your top 5
NBA players of all time?
Yeah.
Probably Mike, LeBron, and then I'd say either Kareem or Wilt Chamberlain, probably at 3-4, alternating, and then probably got to throw in Dwayne Wade at 5 because he's my all-time favorite player.
Really?
Doesn't deserve to be at 5 at all. He's out of the top 10, but I've been I'm a player follower. I watched Cat, and then when he took that team in 2006 to the finals with Shaq, and then he got teamed up with LeBron. So I'd probably say 5, even though he doesn't belong there. We know your top 2. You're 3 through 5.
Yeah. So 3, I did some research on Wilt Chamberlain, freak of an athlete before his time, like way before his time. So he's gone up my list a lot. Obviously I've never seen him play, so it's kind of tough, but I'd probably put him at 3. 4, I go Shaq. 5, Kobe.
Ooh, okay. You're putting
it's
ahead of Kobe.
That's exactly. It's usually a conversation starter because most people don't put Shaq above Kobe. But there's one reason why I put Shaq above Kobe, just one, and that's because I believe Shaq is the most dominant. Maybe an exception from Wilt, but the era is a little different. So, but I think Shaq is the most dominant player to have ever played this game ever. Just this, being 300 plus,
his size and strength,
6'1", most dominant. Now, I'm not saying Kobe isn't dominant, but nobody has dominated like Shaq has dominated. So that's the only and then you get talking about who made what team. I mean, Kobe doesn't win those rings without Shaq. Shaq doesn't win those rings without Kobe. So that's a tough argument. So that's the only outlier that I put Shaq above Kobe.
Okay, interesting take. I like that. I don't think I would have looked at Shaq at that regard, but I mean, I agree with you when you look at how he played at Orlando. I mean, shit, he played for like 12 teams. But the guy's a freak. I'll give you that. That's good. But all right, we'll jump back into these fan questions and wrap up here. I knew bringing up the MJ LeBron debate was going to go down a rabbit hole, but I had to bring it up. But all right, our next one is: what is a food that you will never eat? Like you've had it once and you'll never eat it again.
It's probably like more like it's like Brussels sprouts, asparagus. Those I'll probably never eat those ever again.
Your greens, okay.
Yeah. I'll probably. So I used to eat chicken gizzards and chicken liver, but I accidentally gave myself salmonella, and so I'll probably never eat those ever again.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, I've actually had salmonella twice. It's not fun.
Good reason not to have that again. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even like
Not good.
just eat those raw. Did you cook them wrong? Like, how did you?
I think I cooked because I did cook them. I didn't eat
I don't
them
even know how
raw.
you eat chicken gizzards.
Well, my dad used to make them, and so he knows how to do it right. But I made this when I was in college, and so I didn't really know what I was doing, and I
Oh,
thought
you're
I
going
had it.
rogue.
Yeah, I thought I had it at the right. I know about chicken. You got to cook at the right temperatures. I thought I was doing it right. Oh no! I was so wrong.
Your poor body. Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible.
Damn. Okay. Good answer. The next one we got is, what's your favorite pregame hype song?
Oh man.
Or if you don't have a song, is there an artist you have that's like go to every Saturday morning? I'm throwing it. I'm listening to that the whole time.
Oh, Young Thug. Young Thug, like my all-time favorite hip hop artist. I can throw on any of the Slime Seasons. I can throw on
Yes.
Jeffrey. Like what's that one album? What's that one album with the planet in his hands? It's like melting. You know what I'm talking about? It's got King Troop on it and my people.
As soon as we get off the interview, I know it's gonna hit me.
Yeah, but that album, pretty much
That
any
one?
album, any album, yeah. But Young Thug for sure. That's my go-to.
Okay, good answer. All right, 3 more. What is your favorite stadium to play in, other than Missouri?
The LSU stadium was pretty live. I'm not gonna lie. It's either LSU or Florida Stadium. Those
Ooh,
stadiums
okay.
they were pretty cool.
Death Valley and the Swamp.
Yeah, it's those two for sure. And then Georgia Stadium is kind of cool with the hedges. I remember my first time playing there, it was so loud warming up that the coaches were trying to tell us stuff and we couldn't hear anything. And we were just warming up and he's trying to like do this, and we're just like we have no idea what you're saying. It was so loud. It was crazy.
Dang. What's your opinion on Neyland Stadium?
It's cool. Like it's huge. It's huge, but it's kind of old. Like all these SEC, a lot of the SEC stadiums. Like if you go to them, a lot have been like newly renovated. Mizzou just got newly renovated. Arkansas is newly renovated. Alabama, like all those stadiums, they're like modern day stadiums, and you can tell their stadium is still kind of outdated, but I do like it though because it's just enormous. It kind of feels like you're just like sunken into the stadium, but it's kind of old.
Very, very old.
Yeah.
Walking around the outside because they've got classes and stuff underneath the stadium.
Yeah.
I think there's a forensics lab.
Yep.
Talking about that earlier. They've got a program that's like the body farm is
the body farm, yeah.
Stadium or like on the sides or something. Okay, interesting. So your number one choice is LSU and Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. My guess would have been probably Death Valley or Bama. Those would have been my two that seems like they would have been the most fun to play in, just the atmosphere.
The Bama one, that's intimidating. I tell you that. This is so intimidating.
I bet. I felt intimidated going there, and I'm not even playing. We'd show all orange going over to, the Greek Road to drink, and I mean, I felt intimidated just walking around drinking, so I can't imagine you guys out there in front of, I don't know how many Bama Stadium holds, like 80,000 or so. But
yeah, something like that.
Damn. Okay. Good deal. So 2 more. If you could pick a 3-man Hunger Games squad, who would your 2 other members be?
I know for sure right off the bat, my roommate that I roomed with when I was in Missouri, Tavon, he's gonna be my first choice. He's big into hunting, like guns, like he like all of that stuff. So I know like he's like a ride or die. So I know that's one. The next one gets tough because I know like if me and Tavon got strength, we're survivors. So I know that about him. I'm trying to think of another like person for the squad.
Because you said he's a hunter. So you're good on like the offensive attack. He's down.
Right.
Do you go with somebody that's more like strategic and can plan, or do you go for another aggressive hunter guy out there that's just gonna, have your back and nobody's gonna mess with y'all?
Yeah, I think I'd probably go for more aggressive because I'd probably be like the strategic person. with the
Okay.
planning and the strategy, and then having two aggressive, like, killers, and for lack of a better phrase, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, oh, that's a good one. Probably my brother, Kylan. Just because we have like we're only 2 years apart, so we have really good chemistry. And we're both Eagle Scouts, so I know survival wise, like we know what we're doing. And I don't know if he can shoot or whatever, but he's a quick learner, and we got like chemistry already, so that'd probably be a good trio right there.
Yeah, a good one to have.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were an Eagle Scout.
yeah. Got my Eagle Scout in 2013.
Oh my God. Yeah, so am I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I never would have guessed that. And it's funny how many people I talk to that are Eagle Scouts.
Oh yeah.
People I would have least expected it. Some of my fraternity brothers were in college, guys that I'm like, there's no way you're disciplined enough or smart enough, and they are. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely surviving.
Yeah. You already know.
I was like, you're representing the district out of San Antonio. Nobody's coming down there.
No.
All right, our last one we got. Would you rather take a Randy Johnson fastball to the ribs, a Mike Tyson punch to the head, or a tackle by Ray Lewis going on a slant route? And he comes.
Ooh. Do I see this? Do I see it coming?
No.
On the.
You know he's gonna tackle you, but you're running, and as soon as you run that slant, you don't know if he's right there. You don't know as soon as you catch it, he's gonna hit you. You just know you're blocked.
Ooh. I might have to take the Ray Lewis hit, because the fastball to the ribs, I'm probably losing a lung.
I mean, instantly broken ribs for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Internal organ damage, 100%.
I don't think I recovered from that fully.
He's throwing, in his prime, he was throwing 100 plus.
Yeah, no, there's no way. No, there's no way. I couldn't do that for sure. Now, the Mike Tyson hit to the head, that's probably permanent brain damage.
Yeah.
He probably, what did he weigh in his prime? Like 230? 220?
He was a tank, bro. And he was like 2% body fat, muscles just bulging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm barely in the 200. So I would go as far as to say that there's a chance I might not survive that hit.
I mean, you're getting CTE. You're probably going into coma, permanent brain.
Oh yeah. I'd never be the same.
That's the easy one to write off. Like you can't.
Oh yeah. No. So I'd have to go with the Ray Lewis hit, only because I have some kind of protection, some kind of armor on, because I got the helmet and the pads.
You got pads.
It's gonna help. It's gonna help a little bit. Two, I've played football. I've taken some pretty serious hits myself. I've been knocked out before on the field. So I feel like that's the one I can probably recover from, even though I know I'm probably going to be knocked out cold. But
yeah, I hate to agree with you, but at least that's the one out of the three you've got some sort of protection. Players, they don't wear
nothing
protection. Boxers, I mean, I guess you have a mouthpiece, but I mean that's not going to do anything.
No.
Smart answer. Okay, probably going to get. I mean, you might get some internal damage, maybe like a broken collarbone or something.
Yeah, probably.
But at least you got the experience. I mean, you know what it feels like to get hit, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
At least that kind of bodes well for you, knowing the pain that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I had to give you a hard one there to end it. But that does it, man. That's everything. I really appreciate you coming on for a little while to talk to me and, promoting IV Talks. I'll throw some links in our description to check out your training programs, check out your apparel, your merchandise. Tell everybody out there you need to go listen to that if you want to listen to some sports, some bro talk, which I know, the majority of our followers are sports fans, so it's definitely something you need to check out. Do you post like once a week? Is it once a month, or is it just kind of up to your schedule?
It's once a week. We've been trying to consistently post on Wednesday, but there's a little fluctuation in schedules. But it's for sure once we get in once a week for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. Look for that every Wednesday-ish. And What is your Instagram? I'll put that in the description too. Just check.
Yeah. Instagram is FLS4 swag with 2 G's. So FLS4 SWAGG.
Perfect. Good deal. You heard it here first. Finis is not a fan of Christmas movies. Let's get tackled by Ray Lewis, and he's a future doctor and teacher in the realm of astrophysics. Hell of a resume, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you got it, man. I'll send you some free tanks or hoodies if you want. I know it can't compare to that Ivy Talks merch you got, but
we could trade. I'll send you like a jersey swap. I'll send you some merch too.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, we'll swap. Get a little autograph on the back too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But I appreciate it again, man. We'll be in touch and we'll talk soon.
All right, man. See ya.
See you, bud.